responds. NBA great Chris Webber responds to the story that was out there, or that's out there, that he got or had a baby with ex-teammate wife, Doug Christie, his wife Jackie Christie. The story's out there where he had a daughter with her. The daughter was raised and known to the rest of the world as a Christie, and they're just finding out that he's actually the biological dad, and that Doug Christie is suing wife and Chris Webber for, lots of money. So in his response, he says that he never really addressed it. All he really said, in the lack of better words, is basically that the story isn't true, and anybody that runs a story is going to be in big trouble. So you have time to erase it and take it down. Bro, you didn't address it. People would take it down if you just come out and say, yo, I've never had no interaction with this woman. She's my teammate's wife. My teammate, I love and I cherish our friendship because we bled, sweat, and had tears. We played side by side as teammates for years and years and years. And based on our brotherhood, I would never do that. But he did not say that. Nothing was definitive in what he said. Instead, he also promoted a book. So the scarcity tactic is not going to work, Chris Webber. And I'm a fan. I got the Chris Webber Michigan jersey on the way. The gold version at that. I'm a fan. In the basketball sense. Pause. I'm a fan of the basketball sense. Great player. But he did not put a definitive yes and no on this story. So people are going to continue to run it until you address it. Chris Webber, address it. Why not address it? Why not come out and say what I just said? Why not? If it's not true, because, for example, my co-host, Santana, I've known this man since 2004. I met this brother in college. This is one of my teammates from college. Since we met, we was brothers. I can never imagine. It wouldn't even happen. Not even imagine in this world or the next, me sleeping with a woman that is his wife, is his girlfriend, is his sneaky link, is his one night stand. I can never see that ever happening. I can never see that. If I know that's his piece, if I know that's his sneaky link, if I know that's somebody he met and just slid in, she's sis. She's forever off limits. I don't care if you mix her up with Megan Good, Cooking with Kaya, who else is fine? All the fine, Kelly Rowland, Beyonce. If you mix them all in one, and a woman 10 times better than that, that's a fine woman right there. Ooh-wee. She wouldn't be able to walk around me, but that's another story, okay? I would not touch her, is the point that I'm making. Would not happen. So if that story was out there about me, I'm going to address it. I'm not going to find a way to capitalize on this moment by trying to sell a book that is going to sell anyway because of who I am and what I accomplished. I don't need this type of scandal to sell a book, because overall my reputation is going to be ruined. So I'm willing to put I can't get the word out right this second. I'm tongue-tied. But I'm willing to put my reputation at risk for monetary gain? No, sir, Bob. My reputation and being a solid individual is going to sell my book. Not only I have an interest in life. So I don't understand why he just won't come out and address it instead of making these empty threats, even if the threats are real, even if he does have lawyers on retainer to attack people and to send them scared letters like, "Yeah, take it down or we're going to sue." You're not addressing the problem at hand, bro. If the story's out, then put the story down. But no, you want to use the moment to sell your book. That's not smart, bro. That's not smart. In the eyes of the world, how we look at Chris Webber is in great standing. He's a great basketball player. Every time we've seen him, he's always been a great guy. He's always been very knowledgeable about the culture. He's always been in depth with the culture. He's always done stuff for people that was less fortunate than him. That is his a part of his reputation. So why let this part of your reputation linger? You're putting it at risk. So address it. I just don't understand that. Yeah, they saying who? Yeah, Chris Webber, I don't think most people realize he's a part of the reason why college athletes get paid the way they get paid. He's a part of the reason why. My favorite school in the world, which is Michigan University, at one point in time in the early 90s, if not 89 or 90, they signed 5 freshmen to their team. These 5 freshmen were all dynamic. They were all great players. So now in 2025, it's normalized that you could get 5 freshmen that come out of high school that will start immediately for your basketball team. They was the first to do that. And at that time, that was unheard of. Because originally only 3 of them started, and then 2 came off the bench. Then 1 came off the bench. Then the other came off the bench. And when they all played together, it was one of the most exciting things about basketball. But not just the basketball aspect, the cultural effect that it had on basketball. Seeing melanated kids have that effect on the sport, where they also drive merchandise, where Michigan merchandise became top sellers. So his contribution to sports and the business of sports is monumental. So again, Chris Webber, why have this out and why not just nip it in the bud? Just crazy. They may want to take him down. They may want to, but again, like I said at the beginning of the show, we have the power to design our life. I'm not a big believer in coulda, woulda, bees, or I'm not a big believer in that, right? I believe we make things happen. I believe we create our own energy. I believe that the things that we put out is the things that we're going to receive. If we put out positivity, we're going to receive positivity. If we put out real, then we're going to more likely get back real. There's going to be some unreal in that, but the foundation of that is going to be real that we get coming back. Whether or not is it popular or not is a whole nother segment in itself. But again, why have that story out there? All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. The impact of Caitlin Clark is real, y'all. It's very real. So they showed it. The impact of Caitlin Clark, the cheapest Indiana Fever ticket before she got to the team was $3. Now, the cheapest ticket that you can get, being that she's on the Indiana Fever, is $41.